Voted Driver of the Day after improving on his grid position of 7th to finish 4th, aided by some fine overtaking moves, Hamilton appeared to be on fire in the race. Nonetheless, the Brit was out-qualified yet again by his teammate George Russell, who finished on the podium after both Ferraris experienced reliability issues. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, however, has the 7-time world champion. Hamilton qualified 2 positions and 0.212 seconds behind Russell, who was 1.353 seconds adrift from the pole time set by Charles Leclerc's Ferrari. Although Hamilton has now lost to Russell in Spain, Monaco and Baku, Wolff believes it's too early to identify it as a pattern. I'm very close to it, and I see one session one is faster, and then next the other is. And because the car is on a knife's edge, if you put a foot wrong in terms of experiments on the car, which need to be done in order for us to actually learn how to perform, where to put the car, there's 2 to 3 tenths immediately between them. After qualifying, the 7-time world champion said his back was in a lot of pain from the bouncing of the car, which has been a feature of the Mercedes W13 since unofficial pre-season testing. It was especially noticeable in Baku, however, where Hamilton took his time getting out of the car and then walked away gingerly, clearly trying not to aggravate his back any further. Hamilton had described how he had been affected by the bouncing the day before. "I couldn't finish my long run in practice on Friday because my back was a real mess. Thank God for Angela Cullen for giving me physio and acupuncture every night. I woke up in pain this morning. Bouncing isn't as bad on the straights, but it is through the corners where we're trying to keep the car out of the wall. There's not a lot we can do to stop it, but we can't have this car for 4 years. They need to work it out." But the agony didn't end with quali. Throughout Sunday's race, the 7-time world champion complained of back pain over his team radio, with Wolff apologising for the car's bouncing problem, as Hamilton was grateful to finish 4th due to the pain he was experiencing. "I was just holding and biting down on my teeth due to the pain, and the adrenaline helped. I cannot express the pain that you experience, particularly on the straight here. At the end, you're just praying for it to end. But we were in such a good position still, 3rd and 4th, a great result for the team. The team did a great job with the strategy." Hamilton is confident that once Mercedes fixes its F1 car's porpoising issue, it will be able to make significant performance gains, as the issue cost him around 1 second per lap in Baku. "Once we fix this bouncing, we'll be right there in the race, but we were losing for sure, over a second just with bouncing, or at least a second with bouncing. I'll be at the factory tomorrow. We've got to have some good discussions and keep pushing." Russell echoed his teammates' post-race comments and reiterated his desire for the FIA to investigate the matter on safety grounds after the issue was raised in the F1 drivers' briefing ahead of the Azerbaijan GP. "I was pretty pleased for the race to come to a close. We are just smashing the ground every single corner. Every lap for an hour and a half is pretty brutal, so I will sleep well tonight, especially on a circuit that is not normally that physical. I'm pleased to be standing on the podium. As a team, we have got to be there to pick up the pieces at the end, and that is what we're doing. We have just got to deal with the bouncing, and as drivers, accept that there's not going to be any short-term changes. But there are conversations going on about the long-term future of these regulations. Let's see. We have got intelligent people in this sport, so I'm sure we will find a solution." Wolff also stated that the extent of Hamilton's discomfort following the race demonstrated that the issues his driver was experiencing were out of the ordinary, and he expressed some concern about what the Briton was going through. "He's really bad. We just have to find a solution. At this stage, I think he is maybe the worst affected from all the drivers. But pretty much everyone, as far as I understood from the drivers, said that something needs to happen." And asked if there were any worries that Hamilton's pain could even leave him in a situation where he was unable to race again next weekend in Canada, Wolff said, "Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen him and I haven't spoken to him afterwards, but you can see this is not muscular anymore. I mean, this goes properly into the spine and can have some consequences." Mercedes always brings a reserve driver to races, usually one of its Formula E drivers, Stoffel van Dorn or Nick de Vries, and agreed it made sense to have someone on hand in case Hamilton had problems in Montreal. "I don't think this is only Lewis's issue. He's the one that's probably worst affected, but generally it also affects George and many others. The solution could have been someone on reserve, which we anyway have at every race, to make sure that our cars are running." Nevertheless, For the 7th race running, Hamilton has ended up behind teammate George Russell as the pair continue trials of new developments that are not delivering the progress hoped for. While those tests have hampered Hamilton in recent races, Toto Wolff insists the team's learnings are far from valuable in helping it make a larger recovery in the long run. Wolff stated that Hamilton had been running an experimental floor in Baku this weekend, which had not proven to be the step forward hoped for. He said, "There was a different floor solution on this car that didn't work. The car was porpoising more and bottoming out due to a degree that became dangerous, and then he couldn't extract the performance. These last 3 races, these experiments have gone wrong with Lewis, and not with George." Hamilton had a better Sunday, however, pulling off some good overtakes to climb back through the field and win Driver of the Day vote. In fact, given the state of the W13, both drivers performed admirably. George Russell, who took advantage of a Ferrari double DNF to secure a surprise podium for Mercedes, said their race pace was better than their one-lap speed. It's always a team effort. We've got to be there at the end. We would have loved to have been a bit more in the fight. We probably weren't as far away as we expected, to be honest. We were a little bit quicker than we anticipated, especially compared to the midfield. So, silver lining, but obviously work to do. Meanwhile, Wolff stated that the Scuderia's reliability issues give him little joy because he wants to fight the front runners head on. Commenting on their current pace, Wolff said, "This is where we are at the front. Not as quick as the front runners, but clear of the midfield. We never enjoy our rivals' misfortune. We want to see a strong fight at the front, and we're hoping to catch up and join, so there's 6 of us there fighting." A strong job from George today. He managed the race and took his podium well. We need to find a solution for the bouncing because the car we gave Lewis today was so tough to drive. You could see the pain in his back all weekend. After running on Friday, we knew we had big limitations with the car in Baku, so it was a case of maximising our strategy, driving, and our operations. The team did a great job on all 3 to ensure that we were in the mix and ready to take advantage of any opportunity that came our way. Today, it paid off, and we leave Baku with a good haul of points, but we are under no illusion of the job we have ahead of us to get back to the front. There are no holy cows. Everything is being looked at, and we've got a great team trying to solve our issues. Russell has finished in the top 5 in every race this season, including 3 podium finishes, and is the only driver to have scored in every race and completed every racing lap. You've got to take the positives from any single situation. He said, "We've been in the top 5 every single race with a car that's probably not always deserving of that. So as a team, we have fully maximised it. I can't think of any event that we probably couldn't have scored higher." That's been brilliant from that side. We just keep getting the points on board, but ultimately, we need some more performance. What are your thoughts on Mercedes' current situation? Will they be able to climb out of this no man's land? Are you concerned that Lewis Hamilton won't be able to start in Canada because of his back pain? We'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos.